So nice to see you.
Hey, Tony.
I'm honored that you could do this and spend a little bit of time chatting with me.
Thank you for having us. I really appreciate
Hmm.
getting a chance to share with your audience because I feel like it's somewhat similar audiences, right? It's
Oh,
people that are interested in Alberta culture and
yeah.
Alberta. And so, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's funny because the Theater Network at the Roxy has had a fascinating history, not unlike ours, really kind of gritty and cutting edge, you could say. But you've always
Yeah.
found an audience for your really compelling work. Even the original venue on 124th Street combined that kind of grunge coupled with elegant Art Deco aesthetic, which I adore. And so, where do you fit into the puzzle? Just give us your background a bit.
Well, I'm the artistic director. And as of, what was it, 213 or 214, I became also executive director. I sort of am both art and business
Mm-hmm.
all rolled into one. And so I've been with the company since what, 99, 2000. So I've had a long history with Theater Network and a love affair, I guess, a long love affair with the theater company. And it fits my milieu, my raison d'etre, whatever, to program local and Canadian artists. And as you say, more gritty, hard hitting stories. Yeah, just I think it's important to, I don't know, run an arts organization that entertains, but also is having a conversation about the social constructs and of our society and things that should be looked at or improved.
Speaking of promoting local, the inimitable Karen Hines opens your season this year with her latest. That's really fascinating. Why do you think this was such a great fit?
Well, yeah, okay, good question. Yeah, we opened our 49th season. Oh my
Yeah.
God. With Karen Hines, POCHSY. I mean, some people call it POCHSY IV. She likes to call it POCHSY IV, which is probably
Oh,
more appropriate.
okay.
Um, why does it fit? Like, well, one, it's Buffon, and as she describes it, it's Buffon. Buffon is usually, it comes from the French world of clowning. Goes back to medieval times when they would let people with leprosy and stuff into churches and sort of have their day. And so it comes from the attitude that the citizens could kill us any minute if we don't be really nice. But at the same time, we have to remind our wealthier folks that, gee, that's a really nice watch you got there. Like, how much that cost you? And that here I am living on the street. And so, how do you have those conversations in a way that entertains and brings you in? And so, I saw her show last year at the High Performance Rodeo, and I just fell in love with it. I feel like it really strikes a chord about our world today, especially our environment. When you think of workers, because the play is based on the fact that she's been let go from mercury packers, like actually packing mercury, right? Picking it up with her fingers and stuff. And
Yes.
so you start to realize that she's probably dying in front of you. And I think of the COVID when all of that went down with our meat packers and stuff here in Alberta and atrocities and realizing the working conditions that got illuminated at that time. And so really sort of punches you hard there and yet done in a very humorous manner, which is just dynamic, which he's able to do. So I mean, it's Buffon, but I think probably more appropriate, I would call it existential stand-up.
Well, it's very palpable, that message, as you say, playing with mercury and what went on in the course of the pandemic, where we discovered arguably the best of ourselves and the worst of ourselves in the same breath. Well, and we talked about this a bit. There's a nice little bit of synchronicity between what Theater Network does, Theater Network at the Roxy, and CKUA. And then we've both kind of risen from the ashes, perhaps a few times, literally in your case. And we're both inextricably woven into the community. As somebody steeped into the cultural sphere in this part of the world, what do you appreciate about CKUA?
Well, you guys provide a real range of music that you don't normally hear on our stations. I like that everybody's got a lane. I think all of the hosts do terrific jobs. I like the fun drive as well. That's a lot of fun to hear people share their love for CKUA. And I think, yeah, I mean, I feel a kinship in an arts organization that has survived under the umbrella of other commercial enterprises to click along and still serve community, but also be very cool in what it's able to do. And I think that maybe is why you guys are successful versus other radio stations have come and gone. How many have come and gone and had new programs and new names? And
Goodness.
CKUA is just trucked right along because you guys have a rudder. You know what you're doing. You know why you're doing it. You know what you're trying to support, whether it's Holger's Blues show or your show or Baba's show. Like they're just everybody's got a lane that they go. Here's what I love. So there's that passion that comes with it. It's more than a job for you guys, and that suits us too. It's the same thing. I'm not in this business just to make money. I'm in this business to share work from great artists that we should be. And I think Canadians, like, we're super talented, and so there's lots to share.
Absolutely. And well, kudos to you, Bradley Moss, for rolling up your sleeves and digging in the dirt, as it were, and exploring and exposing audiences to amazing culture, this country and beyond. It is a treasure. And POCHSY IV, or POCHSY IV, starring Karen Hines, is on now. Okay, two little things before I let you go. First of all, how can folks be the difference in keeping CKUA thriving?
CKUA.com. They can donate to CKUA. They can also get part of the drive, which is exciting, and lend support and donations at that time. And they can listen and tell folks about it. And I think people are still discovering us. And I think with CKUA, there are still people to be let in the secret of this hot station that plays artists that you're not always going to get a chance to hear, and artists that you want to hear that you may have just saw at a gig here in town that then you get to hear. So I think CKUA is a treasure that needs to be supported. And I think it's a continual reminder to folks that it's there and it's there for you to enjoy.
Thank you for your warm, kind endorsement, Bradley Moss, Artistic Director and Executive Director of Theatre Network. Now, can I play a song for you, a request?
You know, either Corb Lung's new song about pot, which I thought was funny, or anything by Mercy Funk would also be super awesome.
Kudos to you, Brad. Thanks for doing this.